Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71.
When news broke of wrestling legend Hulk Hogan's cardiac arrest and emergency call, fans were stunned. But the real twist came after authorities entered his Clearwater mansion. What they found inside would send shockwaves through the entertainment world. What was hidden inside Hulk Hogan's home? Why was it never revealed during his years of fame? In this video, we uncover shocking new details from inside the mansion, explore the life Hogan kept private, and reveal the truth about his fortune, feuds, and final chapter. The Mansion with a Million Secrets. Following the tragic death of WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea at age 71 from cardiac arrest at his Clearwater, Florida home, new revelations have surfaced about the enigmatic life he lived behind closed doors. Hogan's longtime manager, Linda Bose, confirmed the news to Newsweek, stating, "Unfortunately, we must confirm that Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan, passed away this morning. We are heartbroken. He was such a great human being and friend." Hogan's Clearwater estate, once seen merely as a luxurious retirement retreat, has now taken on an entirely different meaning. Investigators and close insiders, exploring the property in the wake of his passing, discovered that the mansion was more than elegant architecture. It was a complex web of secrets, memories, and hidden battles. At the center of the intrigue was a climate-controlled vault room. Behind its locked doors were not only priceless memorabilia, championship belts, signed gear, and rare photos, but also confidential legal documents, including rumored records from the Gawker lawsuit, settlement letters, and handwritten notes chronicling Hogan's tumultuous years during and after fame. Even more startling was a sealed-off security wing once operated by a private protection team. Though unused for years, the cameras, panic buttons, and surveillance equipment remained intact, painting a picture of a man who never truly felt at ease, even within his own home. One hidden room, disguised as a walk-in closet, had been transformed into a personal wellness sanctuary. It housed muscle stimulators, oxygen tanks, and nutritional intravenous therapies, along with pain journals and prescription bottles. Among the most personal discoveries were stacks of VHS tapes stored in protective cases. Titles like Training Camp 1984 and Linda Private hinted at deeply personal content. One reel allegedly contained unreleased footage from Hogan Knows Best, offering raw glimpses into a life where public glory masked private pain. As investigations continue, one thing remains certain: Hulk Hogan's mansion wasn't just a home. And deep within those walls was a paper trail leading back to the very moments that broke him. Starting with a betrayal that cost him nearly everything. Betrayal and rebuilding from ruin. Behind Hulk Hogan's legendary wrestling persona was a personal life that collapsed in public view, starting with a headline-making divorce in 2007. After 25 years of marriage, Hogan's wife, Linda Claridge, filed for divorce, shattering their reality TV image and splitting their fortune.
It's been 15 or longer years since I got left Hulk Hogan, and my family is in the worst mess.
At the time, Hogan Knows Best painted a picture of a tight-knit family, but behind the scenes there were deep cracks: infidelity accusations, emotional distance, and power struggles. The divorce settlement was devastating. Linda walked away with 70% of their liquid assets, 40% of Hogan's companies, and a portion of his future earnings. Financially, it nearly ruined him. Adding to the turmoil was the flood of public scandals that followed. Leaked tapes, lawsuits, and relentless media coverage amplified his downfall. Hogan later revealed he had contemplated ending his life during this dark period, overwhelmed by legal battles, personal betrayal, and a collapsing image. Still, he refused to stay down. Slowly, Hogan began to rebuild, not just his career, but himself. He downsized his lifestyle, sold off properties, and sought new revenue through licensing deals and nostalgia-based appearances. He distanced himself from the spotlight, choosing instead to reconnect with fans through selective public engagements. Surprisingly, Hogan also began opening up. Once seen as invincible, he spoke candidly about his struggles with depression, loneliness, and betrayal. In emotional interviews, he described how the divorce forced him to reevaluate every relationship in his life. He emerged with a smaller, trusted circle and a new outlook. Through quiet reinvention, Hogan crafted a second act grounded not in fame but in resilience. But before his world unraveled in headlines and heartbreak, Hogan had already built an empire. One forged not in courtrooms or rehabbed reputations, but in sweat-soaked gyms, roaring arenas, and the dreams of a young man chasing something bigger than himself. From Muscle Beach to Mania. Before the scandal, the heartbreak, and the millions lost, Hulk Hogan was a force of nature, a muscle-bound phenomenon who redefined wrestling and celebrity itself. But the story didn't begin in the ring. It started on the sun-soaked shores of Florida, where a young Terry Bollea first discovered bodybuilding and the rush of performing in front of a crowd. Back in the 1970s, Hogan was a bass guitarist in a local rock band, far removed from the world of suplexes and sold-out arenas. But everything changed when he was spotted by wrestling legends Jack and Gerald Briscoe at a gym. With his massive 6 feet 7 inches frame and undeniable charisma, they encouraged him to train professionally. What followed was a transformation, not just physically, but symbolically. Terry Bollea became Hulk Hogan, a larger-than-life persona who would soon capture the imagination of the entire world. By the 1980s, Hogan had become the face of Vince McMahon's WWF, now WWE. With his signature handlebar mustache, bandana, and ripped physique, he brought wrestling into mainstream pop culture.
I want to watch the match. Keep going up. Hulk Hogan, he dropped the big leg on him. He's down for the cover.
Matches weren't just battles, they were events. He sold out Madison Square Garden, starred in films like No Holds Barred, and appeared on cereal boxes and lunch boxes across America. His catchphrases, "What you gonna do, brother?" became part of everyday conversation. His defining moment came in 1985 at WrestleMania 1, when he teamed up with Mr. T in what would become a revolution in sports entertainment. WrestleMania became a global phenomenon, and Hogan was its champion. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a symbol of American heroism in the Reagan era, a beacon of strength and morality to millions of kids around the world. Yet behind the showmanship was a man whose body was taking a brutal beating. Multiple back surgeries, hip replacements, and knee issues were the price he paid for decades of leg drops and body slams. The fall from grace. Hulk Hogan may have ruled the wrestling world, but his fall was as dramatic as his rise. In the early 2010s, a leaked private recording plunged him into scandal. The footage, released without his consent, captured personal conversations and offensive language that shocked fans, sponsors, and the WWE. The response was swift. WWE severed ties, scrubbing his name from its website, Hall of Fame listings, and merchandise. It was more than PR. It felt like Hogan was being erased. The man once seen as a symbol of strength and family values suddenly became a lightning rod for controversy. Endorsements vanished, public opinion fractured, and his once unshakable brand collapsed. But Hogan didn't fade away quietly.
And the whole time I said, guys, that's not me. I didn't do this for profit. You know, it was a horrible decision, low point in my life. But at the end of the day, they had a verdict sheet. And
He launched a high-stakes legal battle against Gawker, the media outlet that published the tape. Backed by tech billionaire Peter Thiel, Hogan sued for invasion of privacy and won a $140 million judgment. The verdict bankrupted Gawker and sparked national debate over media boundaries and celebrity privacy. Yet legal victory didn't guarantee redemption. While some viewed him as a victim of media exploitation, others remained critical. Hogan issued public apologies and acknowledged the emotional toll the scandal had taken, admitting to deep struggles with fame and identity. In the years that followed, he began quietly rebuilding. He spoke candidly about his mistakes and sought to reconnect with his fan base. In 2018, WWE cautiously reinstated him, allowing limited appearances, a sign of partial forgiveness, but not a full return to glory. Hogan returned to fan conventions and wrestling events, no longer the flawless icon of the 80s, but a man marked by both triumph and tragedy. He showed resilience, choosing to face his past rather than run from it. Though forever altered by scandal, Hogan's journey became one of painful accountability and slow redemption. But even as he found his footing again, Hogan faced one more unexpected turn. A deeply personal transformation, far removed from the ring, the courtroom, or the headlines. The final chapter. In his final years, Hulk Hogan retreated from the spotlight, trading fame's chaos for peace in Clearwater, Florida. His luxurious waterfront mansion, marble floors, private dock, endless ocean views stood in contrast to the turbulent life he had lived. But beyond its beauty, the estate hid something deeper. After Hogan's sudden death at age 71 from cardiac arrest, discoveries inside his home painted a fuller portrait of the man. A locked vault contained handwritten letters, vintage wrestling gear, trophies, and rare memorabilia from his Hulkamania era. It wasn't just a collection, it was a personal archive spanning triumphs and trials. Among the most revealing finds was a personal memoir Hogan had been quietly writing. Though unpublished, sources say it covered more than fame and lawsuits. It delved into regrets, relationships, and the emotional toll of his public life. Perhaps the most honest account of his journey yet. Even more unexpected was Hogan's deep spiritual turn in his final years. Known for bravado, he became quietly rooted in faith, attending church, hosting Bible studies, and speaking often about forgiveness, especially of himself. Those close to him called it his most genuine transformation. His mansion, once a symbol of wealth, became a place of reflection, marking a legacy not just of wrestling fame, but of redemption and introspection. If you were surprised by what was uncovered in Hulk Hogan's private world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and watch the next one for more shocking truths from inside the lives of your favorite icons.